So in India, we're blessed with good weather and ample of rainfall. So it's like literally you sow a seed and you have a day. In Dubai, we strived hard. We actually got a massive crane to lift up a tree that was almost 200 kg.
Actually took these huge palm trees over the villa because we couldn't reach the back. The back was lake facing, and Dubai again is a place where you always are small. However big you feel, trying to get, you always have people to look up to and want it so big.
So what's the best part, like, working with different people with different nationalities, especially in a place like Dubai?
You learn a lot in terms of different cultures, different ways of communicating, different ways of thinking. For example, the Germans will be very direct. They will say it up front, but they will stick to it.
We see the trends now. People want this 5-star type looking homes now. But there's a debate that, you can't call them a house.
It's a very personal choice. This design is the way it is. There is no right or wrong.
Clients building homes in Dubai as a second home. So these clients typically then have a theme. Like we're doing a villa by the sea, on the ocean. But it's a very beachy resort kind of feel.
Right.
It's a second home.
The first person, if I'm in need or in a problem, I will call him. And so even till date, like if the water supply stops in my house, for example, I'm not going to call my husband and say, what do I do? Who I need to call? It's always him. So I literally go to him for everything. So
I won't buy that.
So what is the difference in the expectations in terms of interior designing and construction in Dubai and Pune?
Not just the exposure. Exposure now, I think India also has a lot of exposure. People are well traveled. But the mindset in India still is that I have hired a designer. So they are at my beck and call. And, they will want to squeeze you to your money's worth.
Right. We have Tejashree Halbe and Chaitanya Joshi of the Inside Story, interior designing company based out of Dubai. So, पहिला तर welcome to काय बोलता है, and thank you so much for taking out time in your busy schedule. कारण का we know की तुझी मुंज आहे तुझ्या मुलाची आणि there's a lot of things happening. तर पहिला तर welcome to काय बोलता again once again.
Thank you.
So काय कसं वाटतंय? How are you feeling?
Great. I mean, we're honored, honestly, that you have called us. So, it's exciting. I've been watching your Insta handle.
Thank you.
And I was always thinking silently that someday I need to get here. So I'm really happy about that.
म्हणजे कपिल शर्मा सारखं झालं रे.
कपिल शर्मा
Working to get onto your show.
Manifesting वगैरे. बापरे. So this is a episode special where we have two brothers, sisters, siblings working together in the same industry. And that is the main question that we have, like, how did this journey start? Karan ka, you all were in Pune and then now in Dubai and now you all have an interior designing firm there. So how did all this start? Like, कसं झालं?
So it actually was never planned. It just happened. I was expecting my second child, and a friend of mine asked me to do her house, and she absolutely insisted that I do it. So I had no choice but to take that work on. And for me, honestly, always, he has been my shoulder. So I told him, I said, you need to come and help me because I cannot deal with it in my 8th month. So I roped him in, and literally that's how the journey started.
How was it for you?
So basically, I have been in the construction line, and post my engineering, I've always been in MEP engineering design and then project management. So I was doing a project in Pune, and when she called me, it was an exciting opportunity. We both have come from an entrepreneurial background, our parents, everyone. So we always took up opportunities as they came. We never said no. And Dubai, the way it is and the way the real estate market is shaped up, it was exciting. And from that one project, we never had to look back. And, it's just that there was like a divine intervention that guided us to get there.
Amazing. See, there are challenges of working in Dubai or any new city or a new country that you move to. So how is that for y'all? Because, a new city, because you have to build everything from scratch, right? Like your marketing, everything, like your teams and everything. So how was that for a start for Dubai?
So luckily for us, like she said, the first project came through a close friend of ours, and at her housewarming party, we got the next 3 projects. Just seeing the kind of work that was done. And I think interior design has always, I mean, typically we know one of our uncles also is an interior designer. It's always been word of mouth. You do good work and you will get more work. So thankfully, on the business development front, we really till now haven't had to struggle much with God's grace. But yes, setting up a business in Dubai is fairly easy. So that also we were able to do. But yes, building a team there, getting people to align with your vision, getting the projects executed on time, sticking to the design guidelines, all that, of course, they present their challenges, which both of us together have to tackle on a day-to-day basis.
And was the experience same for you?
So I think it's in Dubai. It's a lot easier to source people as well because there are people from all over the world who come in, and so it's if you want like site supervisors, you want someone, they're all available. The challenge is only to find the right person to help you with design because your design thinking, your design aesthetics, all of that needs to match before you do. So I can say that this is what I want to create, but if the person in front doesn't understand that, then it's going to be hard to work. So that has been a bit of a challenge to find the right people. But I think we've found this good thing where we also do a lot of freelance, and that has worked with us. It's worked well for us.
Okay, so what are the kind of projects you all have worked into? Like, for example, what is your niche, or like if you can describe for our viewers the kind of projects you all do, so that would be
we're primarily into residential design. That's been our forte. I would say more of the luxury residential space. It's having said that, it's not like we don't take on small projects. We do. But we've done a couple of interesting offices. We've done a really nice startup office. We've done a restaurant. So we have ventured out into commercial. And I guess going forward, we would like to create that mix because however tedious residential is, it's still very exciting when the whole house is put together and when you see the smile on your client's face.
Because I think these are main challenges, right? Because when you're building a house, or like for example the interiors, you have to understand the client first in order to put that vision or everything on the mood board and everything. So how is that, and who takes care of what? Like how do you all divide the work and things?
So creativity is all her, and I take care of all the dirty work. So we have that pretty well defined, so to avoid conflicts. But I think she captures the client's thoughts brilliantly. Her creative inputs always are something which typically flows the client. But since in the residential space, and we are talking of luxury, high net worth clients, they are very demanding. So even after getting the design finalized and they liking the design, they are very much involved in the whole journey because it's a dream home we are building for them. And so they're very particular about attention to details, and also seeing the entire project through to the realization of the vision that was created is itself a very challenging process. And we've had experiences where there have been finicky clients. We had a German client who was so finicky; it was very difficult to handle. He had a good attention to detail, but still he was a little over the top, with demands. So I remember once, because we had to do a lot of rework upon his insistence, and he was changing things because when he saw it, he didn't like it, or he didn't think it was as per what he had thought of. We did rework for him, which always we have to do for clients sometimes to get them satisfied. I remember that made us shoot our timelines, and we also had a very strict timeline to follow because he had to move into the house. So I remember the day of the handover, there were so many things happening all together, and I had got my joinery guys on finishing touches. My painters were doing some snagging. So just for the floor sweeping, I had no one on hand. So I actually took the broom and I swept his floor to, kind of get one thing out. So you have these, when you're in business, it's everything.
You have to do everything.
You're the hands on deck. So you have to do whatever comes your way.
And it's also, so I've also had these interesting experiences where as a designer, I mean, you think that, oh, you're a designer and you're going to do all the good work and the creative work. But I've had clients being so demanding that or rather I would say they've been so trusting that they don't want to pick anything without you. So they in fact asked me to pick pots and pans, to pick dustbins, to pick toilet accessories. And when you are in the project and you want to finish it and make the client happy, these are just certain things that you do.
Right.
At the back of your mind, you're like, what am I doing? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Where did I start?
This is not what I signed up for.
Correct.
Like,
the
right?
amount of time that she has to spend on that, the procurement bit, it's unreal. I mean, like typically as a management consultant or someone, you design thinking that these are the manners I'm investing and these are my fees. And we typically benchmark it when we are quoting for a project. But when a client so demanding comes your way, you can't say no to a client.
Exactly.
And you just have to throw out everything else. And, all metrics are thrown in the bin. And you have to go buy a dustbin.
I mean, everyone would agree to this, is that a lot of siblings, they can't work together because it's either you're going to have a bad relationship fallout or either the business fallout. Okay, because why? There are obviously challenges, there are fights, there are discussions, there are and a lot of things that happen. Correct. So how do you all handle this? Because working together, being siblings, and then setting up the business in Dubai has many challenges in itself. So how have you all mastered it?
We basically are 1.5 years apart. So throughout we've grown up together with the same set of friends and wanting the same things together.
Right.
And it's always we fought whatever it is, and we've vented it out, and it's been fine. So we still do the same thing. There are
we fights. We do crazy fights, but then we come back and we say, okay, let's get on now, it's done.
But what luckily helps is that because we have complementary skill sets, that she being a designer and I'm on the engineering side, so luckily we have very well defined boundaries for us. So I cannot interfere beyond a point in design, and she has no interest in interfering with all the dirty work at site. So that way it helps us to kind of manage on a day-to-day basis. But of course, we love to fight. I mean, there's no way you can avoid that.
But at times, there must be a situation like, what client you've got, you must be, talking to each other. I mean, for example, if you are looking at, getting client, and she's like, like the demands are unrealistic and things like that. So in that case, what do you all do? How do you all like you all talk and solve it out? Like what is it? Or like look at the commercial value first.
So Chaitu's got a very good formula on this.
Okay.
He is like, look, you handle the man and I'll handle the lady.
Easier.
And it's worked for us.
I think that's a smart way. Yeah, that's a smart way.
It's easier for both of us.
Easier,
to communicate better.
Exactly. So, can you describe your first projects rather? That actually when you all started out, and some of the key projects that you all did, where you all felt, this is something that we have to do. Like this is something that is telling us this is the right direction, right? You look for signs, right, in your business and in your career and things like that. So, any key moments that you all can share?
So I would say the first project that we did, actually, we went in with a thought that, okay, here's this is our first project. We will do it to our best. And then I was supposed to go on my maternity leave. So that was the plan, and Chaitu was going to come back to India. And we said, okay, we just take it on as an experiment, and that's about it. But it so happened, like he mentioned before, that when she threw a housewarming, the client, we got 3 projects from that. So my maternity leave went out of the window. He ended up staying back in Dubai. And so I think that was one of the key moments, I would say, where we realized that, okay, so people are liking our work, people are liking what we're doing. And it just kind of got us really motivated.
Right.
To continue, and I think that was a key thing for me.
Absolutely. I think the first project itself, we kind of felt that, okay, we've been guided in the right direction. And I think also from the fact that we got more projects, Dubai as a city also to work from a career point of view, or from just the kind of exposure you get. I think it's brilliant. Like in India also, when people say when you go to Mumbai, you feel that rush, and you feel that vibe. So Dubai absolutely has that. Be it on the clients front, we work with so many different nationalities of clients there. So you get to learn different things about every nationality. And like because we are in a residential space, the amount of airtime we get with each client is more. We get to understand them personally, and it helps us, to grow also in terms of understanding their cultures, what different people. I remember in one of our clients, they were Syrians, and after we finished their house, they invited us for a home cooked Syrian meal. And it was brilliant. The amount of variety that we ate there, and all vegetarian, because they know she's vegetarian.
I mean, that was actually a very interesting thing, because she asked us what were our dietary requirements. And I'm a vegetarian. So I told her, I said, I'm a vegetarian. So she said, Tej, I don't know what is veg food in Syrian. So I was like, okay. I said, don't worry. You do what you do, and I will manage. So she said, okay, let me see what I can do. And when we went, she had researched. She had called her mom, taken recipes of vegetarian food, and she had done a spread,
like 20 odd dishes.
20 odd vegetarian. In vegetarian.
Syrian food or all Middle Eastern food is mainly of meat based dishes. So it was brilliant, so it was heartwarming. So this kind of cultural exposure you get with the clients. In Dubai, the different materials that you're able to use and procure, like we're doing a luxury mansion there. We are buying the glass for the window facades, the 5-meter high glasses, which are from China. The frames and the accessories we are sourcing from Switzerland. We're getting the wardrobes imported from Germany, and the entire kitchen we're importing from Italy. So, when you get that kind of exposure and you get to interact with those kind of people, it's amazing.
So what are the design expectations or construction expectations? Because since your roots are in Pune, and obviously you must be visiting a lot of places in Pune and in Dubai. So what is the difference in the expectations in terms of interior designing and construction in Dubai and Pune? So that's my next question.
I would say the mindset is the biggest difference, because it's not just the exposure. Exposure now, I think India also has a lot of exposure. People are well traveled, but the mindset in India still is that I have hired a designer, so they are at my beck and call, and they will want to squeeze you to your money's worth.
True.
Which in Dubai, I feel is not the same. They respect you for what you bring to the table, and they understand that you have your personal time. It's not like you're literally working for them 24/7. So I think that bit, and where you get that bit of your work-life balance sort of comes with it, and which I think is a different a big difference between India and the UAE.
I think from me, I would probably see a stark difference in the team that I have. I worked here in the construction space as well. So typically here, your laborers will not show up for work the next day. कोणाची मयत झाली, कोणाकडे आज पेरणीच आहे. So you get all these reasons. So your project management and your plan for the day goes for a toss. Because you expect 50 people at site, you will have 30, 40, whatever, and you don't have control over that. Whereas in Dubai, all the visas of all these people are sponsored by the main contractor. And because of that, they have much more control over the team, and everyone is housed in these labor housings. So everything is well regulated and controlled. So even for me, from a planning point of view, when I expect the contractor to provide me with 20 people at site, I know that there are going to be 20 people at site. When manpower is at site, work gets done. That's a very simple formula in construction. So
in terms of design trend, what do you will say? What are the trends that are happening in Dubai or in Pune?
So it's I think right now the world has shifted to a lot of modern, minimalistic, a lot of Japanese styles coming in. So I think I also see a lot of that in the bohemian influence in India now. So there's similar trends in both the places, but I would say in India you still have some traditional designs that come in. Similarly, in Dubai, you have a lot of the arabesque, Ottoman kind of designs that you see, traditional Arabic designs that you see, and it's a nice blend. If you can create a space using a bit of a sort of a mix of the two, then that I think would be really a nice design style. And I think that's where although the organic movement now is growing,
right,
and in a big way, and it's really nice because as organic as you can get, as local as you can get with your products, definitely I think that should stay in design. That's my
interesting. So as you said, the design trends like the sustainable, organic, and green and eco-friendly, and everything is evolving. Even minimalistic is like, for some people it's in. So how would you describe this as shaping up the future of the design or construction? Because a lot of clients must be demanding that key, I want to make it sustainable, eco-friendly, and things like that. So does that affect your work, or how do you overcome that?
You've done these solar.
Yeah, I've done these ones with solar panels and all that. But because we are in the smaller segment of the villas and apartments, I think we've not faced major demands or requirements for a sustainable home as such. But yeah, the materials these days are evolving into more eco-friendly, like the bricks that you use, then the kind of paints that you have, and of course the water heater, which is solar powered, and you have electricity generation. So to a certain extent, but not I don't think it's played a big impact on our business or the way we've evolved the design around it.
I think although we would love to go that way,
right.
Having said, although we would love to introduce houses that only run on solar, or water that gets heated through solar. I'm also quite excited about possibilities of doing green terraces. So trying to literally cover each and every part of the roof, because I think that in context of Dubai would be a big difference. It would bring down the heat. It would bring down, plus because there's sand and there's this whole, it's bright.
Right.
So if you see green speckled all over, it would definitely be more pleasing to the eye.
So how do you all handle disagreements or conflicts in business, and especially as siblings, because tend to fight a lot, like when there are disagreements. So how do you all come to a conclusion? Because that's a question that our audience even wants to know. Why? Because not many siblings can work together. So how do you all?
So like we said, we fight a lot. And the good thing is, because as he mentioned, that we have these clear design demarcations, clear role demarcations rather. So I take care of the design, he takes care of execution. We don't try to step into each other's territories as far as possible. Having said that, me being the way I am, when I step at site, I tend to change a few things around, and I'm sure that irks him also, that but this was not part of the plan, this was not on
this was not decided,
this was not decided, and then we do have our conflicts, but I think we fight it out, honestly. We just fight it out and we come back.
I think, and what she also understands probably in a way is that her design needs to be buildable. So that what I've seen, I've worked with other designers as well, and they are very, I would say, paper based. I mean, wrong to generalize, but you typically have designers who would try to create a vision, but it has to be buildable, right? At the end of the day, you need engineering behind it, and not every project offers you the kind of finances you would have on a mega building like a Burj Khalifa, where everything happens as a first. You end of the day have to stick within the budgets. End of the day, you have to do something which is quick to deliver. So she understands that as a designer, which really helps, because otherwise, if she has to insist that this is a design, a breakthrough design that I want, and knowing the client that with his budgets, with his timelines, it's not doable, it would have been a mess. So that's, I think, really good that we have that understood, and she is bendable on that front to accommodate that.
He's being nice to me.
As Raksha Bandhan hai. He's my gift.
So can you share a time where, or a project when things didn't go as expected, but then turn things around, or put it in a way that it happens na ki all is well that ends well. Tasa type kutli situation hoti.
So I think from a lot of houses, because there are so many agencies involved, so many different things that need to be coordinated. So always there is a design, and then there is like structures that are ready. Sometimes like we work with renovations also. So in that the shell is already ready. And when you are then executing, you always find a beam which shouldn't have been there, or which we probably didn't foresee happening there. So she has to tweak design, and then we have to cover it up.
That's the worst that can happen. I mean, going to site or getting a call from Chaitu saying there wasn't this beam, it was not in the structural plan, but it has popped up on site. And then we are trying to tweak the design around.
Dubai, what happened is Dubai had gone through a frenzy of real estate growth, construction growth, and so they've adopted to precast villas. So you have these massive, Lego type block building that has happened for the villas, and so you have different villas with having different set of the steel framing and everything.
Right.
So not every drawing that they give us is actually as per site. And when you actually break down the whole villa, you realize that, this is a structural element. And then we have to run back to her that, Teju, we can't do this. Your ceiling heights are coming low. And then we don't want the client also to feel bad about, oh my God, why? Because I wanted as good as a height I can get. So then, of course, we have to do a lot of these tweaking at site. And then we cover up with our false ceilings, and the client has so far been okay with it.
It's okay.
I mean, to answer your question, every project has its own challenges. So there's no one example I can say that this was really hard. But it's literally every project springs up new surprise elements which are not pleasant. So we have to deal with it. I mean, I guess that's what it is.
But communicating to client and all, it's like they understand, like, okay, structural, it's
God's grace, most of them are reasonable. There have been some, like I said, nationality wise also now we've kind of understood who is a difficult nationality to handle, who is better. I wouldn't put it on record. But so fairly now at the start only we have an idea that, okay, this is what we have to tread carefully. And but of course, end of the day, it's something they have to digest, because it's a house that they've purchased, and there's nothing much you can do, and you can never compromise on any structural stability.
No, but I think also we have so clients who are typically difficult sometimes also will be willing to spend more. So which is another thing where they will say, let's say there are things that for example, authorities don't give you permissions, and we say, well, guys, authority is not giving permission, or the contractor comes back saying, no, I couldn't. They will ensure that they push the contractor to get the right permissions, or they will say, okay, what is the cost of tearing this particular thing down? And then they will rebuild. So they're okay with that. So it kind of depends on what their pockets are like.
Correct.
And how it goes.
But so what's the best part, like, working with different people with different nationalities, especially in a place like Dubai? Because, for example, in Pune, you'll get Punekars, like Marathi and, some other race. But there, how is the scene? How is the scenario?
There was one interesting funny
I know.
Page can share it better. She was scandalized. I was with my eyes wide open.
So we were actually, I won't name the client, of course, but we were with this couple and we were in the car. We were going for some work. I think it was procurement. And both of us were in the back seat, and the client was in the
French,
front.
and they were French.
I was not going to name the nationality,
no,
but you did.
They are definitely not going to watch
So they were in the, and then as you can expect, the French being French, we were at a signal, and literally at every signal that we would stop, they would kiss each other and make up.
Every signal,
pretty much every signal. And I was like, I didn't know where to look, because obviously when you're sitting on the back seat and you're looking in the front, you don't know whether you should be looking or then you look out of the window. So I was a little confused. I think Chaitu was enjoying the scene.
I know. 70 mm. French movie live.
So you do. I think the thing with different nationalities, to answer your question, is you learn a lot with all the exposure that you get in terms of different cultures, different it's different ways of communicating,
right,
different ways of thinking, because you feel that, oh, this guy said this. So like, for example, the Germans will be very direct. They will say it up front, but they will stick to it.
right.
Then there are certain nationalities who will beat around the bush, but you have to try and find out the meaning of what they really are trying to say. So it's not like, and then again, of course, our Desi clients are a different set again, where they come with their way of communicating. Then you kind of tackle that, you deal with it. So I think it also adds a lot of spice into your life,
right?
Because every project is different, every experience is different. In the same day, sometimes we have multiple projects going on at the same time. So you'll have a morning meeting, say, with someone who's American. In the afternoon, you'll be meeting someone who's from India. So it's literally, you realize your tone of talking,
right,
the way you're communicating also changes and adapts to the way the client is.
Right.
So which is, I think, very interesting and a big learning, I would say.
If you had to describe each other in one word, what would it be and why?
So I would say trustworthy, because I literally just blindly trust him. I don't, I never have this doubt in my mind that there's going to be anything otherwise.
Right.
So I think that for me is the biggest, one word to describe him. So.
And for you?
I think creative, yeah.
Creative.
As simple as that. I've trusted my entire career along with her for knowing that how creative she is and believing in her designs. And it's worked well so far.
And what's that one thing you've learned from him? One or more things that you've learned from each other working together in this?
I think it's ongoing learning from childhood. I think that probably I draw inspiration from her. Though she doesn't look the elder one, she's the elder one. So for me, I've always, she's treated me as her baby brother, though a year and a half younger. So I've looked up to her in terms of how she's, managed parents for me, and through my growing up, all the mess ups I've done, she's always been around for me. So I really look up to her as my elder sister, though the age gap is less. And she's really, even with the family, she is a strong bond between us. In Dubai also, we've created a lovely, family bonhomie. We've got a nice set of friends, and she hosts these lovely parties, and Ganpati is celebrated in big fair at her place. So it's really nice. You feel at home. The same way we used to do it in Pune, she's been able to set that up in Dubai as well. So.
And
clearly,
for you?
Raksha Bandhan.
Clearly
today.
Clearly. I'm like all yours.
I think now I've finished with the gift for 2 years now.
But with Chaitu, I think I would say very dependable. So it's like, if I have a problem, and my husband travels a lot. So literally for me, and when we started work, he was staying with us for a couple of years, and not once did I have any concern, because for me it was always like, the first person, if I'm in need or in a problem, I will call him. So it's stayed on. It's been right from the start, where I've abused his shoulder for crying, and continues now, and it's been like that. So even till date, like, if the water supply stops in my house, for example, I'm not going to call my husband and say, what do I do? Like, who do I need to call? It's always him. So I literally go to him for everything. So I
want my Rakhi.
So what are your goals for the future of your firm? Because Dubai, being Dubai, so many people are moving to Dubai. New real estate is coming up, and it's booming more than ever. So where do you all see this going for the Inside Story?
We still feel we're a startup, so we still have that energy, and Dubai again is a place where you always are small. However big you feel you're trying to get, you always have people to look up to, and the market is so big. So we are fairly small and a long way to go. Luckily now we've been able to venture out into, the luxury segment. There, what we've done is that between us, we have now separated the design and project management in a way where we are able to take on bigger size projects from a project execution point of view. Because with design, like she said, to handle design, it's her inputs and her creativity, and there's a limited bandwidth that she has. So with that, we've then decided that okay, we'll take up projects which are way bigger than what we can do as a design and build, and we'll only focus on build. So currently we are doing 4 large villas in prime locations in Dubai, where we are doing it from the plot. So from a basement to a roof, we will be looking at executing it. So that's a nice space to be in. These are ultra high net worth. So typically the size of the build is about 50 million dirhams.
Wow.
And one of the villas is, we are doing it for sale. So we're looking at selling it at a 150 plus ticket size, So that's an exciting space to be in. That's where we feel it'll create a good name for our brand as well.
Right.
And
so as you can see, he's obviously the more commercial minded thing. For me, it's more like, I honestly don't care about I work purely for my passion, I would say, more than the money or what it brings in. And I think like a personal goal for me or for Inside Story for me would be to see it being famous in the right way, in terms of design, to win design accolades, to be known as a great firm for design. So no matter what the project ticket size, it's just that I want people to know us as, if you want amazing designs, this is the place.
This is the place to go to.
And that's how I want to grow that firm. So be featured in probably magazines that speak of good designers and good work. And I think that is what it is. All said and done, both of us want to do good work. And I think we would want to be known as that eventually.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Are there any new trends in interior design and construction that you are excited to explore? Because working with so many nationalities, you all have to up your research game as well, right? Because for example, you said the Syrian thing, so you'll have to research what is that they want exactly. So how do you all keep up with that?
So I think for us, the good thing is every project is different. And we try to keep it like that, that we try our best to not repeat anything. No elements that would repeat from one project to another. So we try and make sure that our projects are unique for the clients, for us, because that gives us satisfaction as well. And I think that's how it would be. I wouldn't point a finger to which one specific design style or trend, but I would say that keeping every project unique would be where we would want to keep ourselves.
What do you think?
I think for us, construction-wise, Dubai has been cutting edge. So, right from currently what we're doing is, in India, we typically have these ready-mix plants being, the ready-mix trucks coming in for large areas or large slabs. In Dubai, for even a 3 cubic meter, we have ready-mix truck coming in. The concrete pour is done in like 10 minutes, 15 minutes flat, So those cutting edge kind of technologies we use there, be it from waterproofing to the kind of air conditioning we install, to kind of heat insulation we do. Everything is what is there available latest. So the materials, you would have something being released in Europe, tested in Europe, and they'll immediately want to experiment it in the Middle East. So because it's a good market, it's a market where people are spending heavily. So it gives us that opportunity, that platform to continuously be at the top of the game in terms of construction materials, at least.
So it was also, to add to this, one interesting thing where in a villa, so in India, we're blessed with good weather and the ample of rainfall. So it's like literally you throw a seed and you have a tree. In Dubai, we strive hard to create the greenery and to maintain it. So in a villa that we did recently, we actually got a massive crane to lift up a tree that was almost 200 kgs. And we had to get this crane and the arm of the crane had to reach to this place.
Yeah, it was a 50-meter long crane.
Wow.
So we actually took these huge palm trees over the villa because we couldn't reach the back. The back was lake facing, so we didn't have access to the back, and we wanted to plant it in the rear of the plot. So we actually got a crane. We lifted full-size trees, and we planted
ready trees, and it was put there. So it's and olive trees, like we put these massive olive trees. All of this with a crane, which I think is amazing because we're creating these green spaces, and no matter how much of a challenge it is, we make sure that it turns out green. So that's a thing that I think, and I would definitely want to introduce a lot of this whole. So I'm a big fan of Frank Lloyd Wright, and everything that's the outside inside concept, I would want to stick with it, and wherever possible, we would want to kind of do it. So it's brilliant. Yeah.
Amazing. Any dream projects that you would want to take up, or you would want to work on?
We did one recently. We did one in
very satisfying.
Very satisfying, where the client told us that they're Indians and they wanted something to showcase their roots. They love classic style as well as traditional Indian, but they wanted it to be very current. So it should not look like a palace plucked out of olden times, or a house which is not like a vada, ki ek akha vada juna apla tithe ghitla ठेवला, create kela. So it had to be very modern, very current, but yet reflect this Indian style. So we kind of went through this British colonial route, did a lot of I think it's something that if I had the means and my own thing, I would probably go very close to that. So I think it's a project I'm very happy with.
Amazing. Amazing.
And now it's been shortlisted also for one of the Middle Eastern awards thing. Fingers crossed. Yes.
Wow. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Hope your viewers wish us well.
Absolutely.
We will post once we
100%. 100%.
Yeah, we've kept this project under wraps.
Yeah.
So it's not featured yet because we're hoping we did get shortlisted after through all the nominations.
Right.
And we're excited about it. So once I think this magazine or award thing features us, then we will go all out on. So all your viewers,
absolutely,
please check us out and
100%. 100%. Interesting point you bring up. See, now the homes people we see the trends now. People want this 5-star type looking homes now. But there's a debate that you can't call them call it a house, correct?
Yeah.
So what do you all think about it? Like a home should be a homely vibe should be there, or like a 5-star thing? How is it?
I think it's a very personal choice, and particularly because design is the way it is. There is no right or wrong. It is what you like. It is what I mean, personal choices are very, very different. But having said that, if I have to think about it, yes, for me, a house needs to feel like a home.
Right.
But then there are people who like this luxury, clean lined, spick and span look, which with polished floors. So that is a thing, and I wouldn't comment on it whether it's again it's right or wrong. That is their choice. And we do create houses that cater to that as well. But yes, if you ask me personally what I would want to do, then more cozier spaces, more spaces that you feel like, yes, I'm home, and that feeling of relaxation. I think that's nice to have. Yes.
What do you think about it?
I completely second that. I think for me also, I think the home would be something that you want to come home to, have that peace of mind and feel that warmth, in the house. So it's nice to create those spaces in Dubai. But again, the kind of clientele you have clients building Dubai homes in Dubai as a second home,
right?
So these clients typically then have a theme in mind. Like we are doing a villa by the sea, on the ocean front. So they want a very beach house. So the design, everything embodies a very beachy resort kind of feel.
Right.
It's a second home. So for them, so you have these different kind of demands from clients, and so like she said, it's a very client specific thing. But you have different tastes and you cater to them.
Amazing. So now we have a quick rapid fire round. Okay, so I'll be asking all.
We're on the
Ah.
hot seat.
Yeah.
मराठी मध्ये आपल्या
मराठी rapid fire कसंही.
आम्ही पुणेरी.
आम्ही पुणेरी. So who's the early riser amongst y'all? Pune.
I think both of us.
Both of us.
Yeah.
Coffee or tea काय?
I'm coffee. Filter coffee.
I'm green tea.
No
Green tea?
cappuccinos, no
Yes.
cortados. Only filter coffee.
Who's more organized?
I think I would say Chaitu is
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
organized. I mean, I'm
Excel.
organized. I'm not messy, but I think he is more organized.
Okay. Favorite project that you all have worked on together?
So this
the villa, yeah, just said, yeah.
It's really,
Who's the bigger risk taker?
I think Chaitu again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say.
maybe with business, I would be the bigger risk taker. With design, obviously, she's taking a risk with her reputation on
Okay.
that. So,
Okay. Favorite city to travel to for design inspiration?
Bali would be for
Bali?
me for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in Dubai.
You're in the who's more likely to stay late at the office?
I think both of us
Yeah.
would.
Yeah,
I mean,
both of us,
depends on who
yeah.
needs to work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would stay.
Who's better at handling client meetings?
Again, like
Yeah,
you said.
like the
golden rule.
The golden
Yeah,
rule.
golden
Yeah.
rule.
We have the golden rule.
What's your go-to de-stress activity after a long day?
Oh, for me, kids, because
Kids, yeah.
been a while that I was staying alone in Dubai with
Yeah.
Teju and family, but now that they are there with me, we've moved them there, so it's fun to get back home. with kids.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For you?
And he's always liked
Yeah,
children much
yeah.
more. I like little dogs much
Yeah.
more. But so when I go home, my favorite thing would be to take a long shower because that's the only place my kids won't bother me.
So, favorite style of interior design? No.
I would say for me, absolutely eclectic. There is no one style. It is what a person is, and I think that should reflect. So it is absolutely eclectic.
For you?
Yeah, I think minimalistic.
Minimalistic.
काही दंगा करायचा घरात तर
करा.
तोडफोड minimum व्हावी.
Biggest design trend you are loving right now? Ki this is something good.
I think the organic,
The organic,
sustainable.
sustainable.
home.
For you?
I think that's a good trend. I think, and that is something that is going to go places. And it is. I think the newer generation is becoming very conscious about it, and it's definitely something that is evolving.
Okay. Who's more likely to come up with crazy new ideas?
I think me,
The
the
creative,
designer.
yeah.
kids.
The creative.
I wouldn't go to him for design.
Others will only be crazy, not necessarily creative.
So there was this client who had an interesting comment once. We were trying to solve a design problem. आणि आम्ही उभे होतो सगळे आणि आम्ही असे विचार करतोय मी विचार करतेय काय करताय काय यांनी काहीतरी सजेस्ट केलं तेवढ्यात की आपण हे असं करूया and the client looked at him and he said I'm glad you do what you do.
But I think to be fair to me, एक माझं डिझाईन यांना खूप आवडलेलं. मी काय केलेलं एक one of the first apartments I think we did. They wanted a kids room and they had a kids bedroom next to it. And they wanted to make that kids playroom as for the kids to play one of the bedroom, and the next bedroom was their next room was their bedroom. तर मी सजेस्ट केलं की आपण वॉल मध्ये एक भोक पाडू आणि त्याला एक टनल सारखं एका साइडनी कनेक्ट करू. सो इट बी अ सिक्रेट पॅसेज फ्रॉम द बेडरूम टू द किड्स रूम. आणि ते त्यांना इतकं आवडलं, इन्क्लुडिंग
So he gives good ideas.
Good ideas.
But
quirky ideas, more
I think engineers can come up with good ideas. यार. It's not necessary काय का डिझाईन लोक तुम्हाला नेहमीच आपल्याला ते शूट डाऊनच करणार की तुम्ही इंजिनियर आहात. त्यामुळे आपल्याला काय सेच राहत नाही त्याच्यामध्ये. What's the best advice you have given each other?
That we need to continue to work together. That's we complement each other, and that is our mantra, I guess.
True.
For you, the same?
Yeah, absolutely. I think bang on. It's been amazing working together, and both of us, like I had said, we come from business families. We've been inspired by our grandfather, dad in business, and we always knew we wanted to do business. So no better partner than having a sister with you, and we obviously wouldn't work under someone.
Any plans for starting the firm and taking up more work in Pune?
Yes, we are we are thinking very strongly on that. We are forming a couple of tie-ups as well. So soon, yes.
Soon.
आमचे इनफॅक्ट काही दुबईचे क्लायंट्स होते, त्यांनी इथे फार्म हाऊस साठी घेतलेत वगैरे. सो थोडंसं ते ऑर्गॅनिकली पुश होतंय की दे वॉन्ट टू डेव्हलप द फार्म हाऊस हिअर, दे वॉन्ट us to design because we are placed there, so it'll be easier. And because
they
we're
worked
from
with
Pune,
us. And I comfort आहे आमच्या बरोबर. They are like, no guys, it needs to be you. So त्यांची तिकडची घरं केली आहेत, आता त्यांना फार्म हाऊसेस इथे हवी आहेत.
So थोडं ऑर्गॅनिकली होईल ते. आणि आवड तर आहेच दोघांना पुण्याला यायची. त्यामुळे मग तर दर महिन्याला येत आलं तर
कामासाठीच
कामासाठी
नो, आय थिंक खूप छान झालं आपला कॉन्व्हर्सेशन. आणि थँक्यू सो मच फॉर कमिंग ऑन काय बोलताय. फक्त आमच्या व्ह्युअर्स साठी एकदा कॅमेरा वगैरे बघून सांगाल की आम्हाला लाईक करा, फॉलो करा, शेअर करा, सबस्क्राईब करा आणि जास्तीत जास्त शेअर करा लोकांना.
I think Mayuresh is doing a great job. So please like, follow, subscribe.
आणि स्टार्टच आपण केलं तसं मराठीचा कपिल शर्मा आहे, त्यामुळे तुम्ही we have actually come this far to be on this show. तुम्ही नक्कीच लाईक, शेअर अँड सबस्क्राईब करा.
अरे मुद्दाम ते असं विचारायचं म्हणजे आपल्यालाच बरं वाटतं नाही का, कसं वाटतं आल्यावर वगैरे.